Welcome to V-Gals
NLP Power Hour.
every Tuesday night, 7 to 8.
We're here.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming over and stopping by.
Maria Elliott here.
And I am Jack Tate. And we're V-Gals.
We are.
We're V-Gals.
This
like
is it. Okay, welcome. We would like to start off with a little bit of custom music.
Yeah, just to get you in the mood.
That's right. Okay. Nothing like a little bit of music, custom music, to set the frame for your future, whatever you want your future to be.
I 100% agree.
Okay. So we're just going to energize it right now. So, just take a deep breath. Let it out. Relax and enjoy the show, baby.
All right.
Because we're going to create your future.
Yeah. And we're going to have a little bit of fun music to go along with it.
That's right.
All right.
And I'm going to sit and meditate and enjoy.
Perfect.
Prosperity and abundance in the air. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That was amazing. Yay. Oh, thank you. Welcome to V-Gals Live.
Yeah, thank you so much
Tuesday
for
Power
coming
Hour.
here and sharing this time with us. We love to be a part of your routine.
Right. As a community service, we really believe in neuro-linguistic programming.
100%.
Would we like to say hi to some of the people that are maybe coming
in? Hello to Amy and Jeff. We love you so much.
Our steady Eddies.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Hi, Jamie. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We have about 7 people that are live right now. We're Jack is creating, customizing some original music for some projects that we're doing, so we're really excited about that.
Yes, absolutely.
We're all about customizing and designing futures, and as coaches, that's what we help people do. Sounds easy, and it is easy if you know how to do it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so why would anybody want to tune in tonight and learn the secret coined by the Tad James Company? Why would you want to learn the secret of creating your future?
It's a great question. has anyone ever really thought about what it would be like to actually create and design your own future? Imagine having the ability to step into any place and you're like, you know what? I can do this.
And what if in your career, in anything that you do, if you could just easily and effortlessly just, whoom, get to the top.
Yes.
Wherever that top is in your career, in your life, be the top of your profession, the top of your career. What if we could just do it within like less than an hour? Would that be a benefit?
Yeah. Minutes, maybe even seconds.
Depending
on how well you master the art.
Okay. So what is the big secret about creating your future? Is there any other reasons that people would want to learn the secret of creating your future? Again, coined by Dr. Tad and Adriana James.
Yes.
Okay. In my opinion, the Ivy League School of
NLP.
Neuro-Linguistic Programming, NLP.
Yeah.
Timeline therapy, hypnosis, and coaching.
Imagine having the ability to create your own future and everything just flows abundantly, easily, and effortlessly. Because the unconscious mind will always go towards the path of least resistance. So imagine, instead of working hard to play hard, you're able to do it easily and effortlessly. You just blink, open your eyes, and you're ready for the day. You're ready to take it on.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
A lot of people will say you have to work hard. You gotta work hard, you have to work for your money, you gotta earn it. Imagine it's just easy. Easy doesn't have to equate to you didn't work for it. You didn't do your job, you didn't do your part, you don't deserve it.
That's right. Energy flows where our attention goes.
Yes.
And if our attention goes on hard, what are we going to get?
Hard.
If we focus our attention on easily and effortlessly, what are we going to get?
Easy and effortless.
So that's our mission, is to unplug the neurology of what we've been programmed to believe. Just unplug it, clear it out, and then help you plug in to an easy way to achieve your goals. I think that would be about the easiest way to explain it, right?
Absolutely. Being able to create your future means that instead of always being in a state of need, asking and pleading for everything to go your way, it's just going to go your way.
Easily and effortlessly.
Yes.
Okay, so you think we got enough why people should learn the Tad James Company way of the secret of creating your future?
Yeah, unless our audience here, Jeff and Amy, have anything to say about it. What?
Okay.
Jeff is speechless?
So what is the secret of creating the future?
That's a great question.
Customizing, designing your future. Tonight it's not about actually teaching the processes and techniques. It's more of a conversation between two coaches, and what it's kind of done for us and some of our clients. Now, we do have client confidentiality agreements, so we may say case study or client M or client whatever, which is okay.
And we may get those client letters and case studies confused throughout the entirety of this little Facebook Live. However, we're going to try to have you follow along as easy and effortlessly as possible.
That's right. Okay, so I think we should probably get a couple of things out of the way. Mm-hmm. When I'm coaching someone, when I have a client, there's a couple of things I have to get out of the way in the beginning.
Yes.
Number one, I need to determine that they really want to change.
100%.
Why won't 99% work?
Well, you have to have 100% skin in the game. If I am putting 100% into a client, I need to know that this is exactly what they want, that they're going to put 100% back in, because it has to be an equal exchange of energy.
Right. 50% commitment to change isn't even going to give you 50% change. If you're committed 100%, you will have 100% change. So one of the things that we do is we make sure that our clients are 100% committed, that they're going to give it their all. They're in it to win it. And we know if you're 100% committed, because there's no doubt in your mind. You say it with energy, and that's how we know that you want to be coached to create that future that you truly want.
Yes.
So we talk a little bit about after we get after we know that our potential client is committed 100% to positive change results to get their outcome, then we have to kind of pre-frame their thought process. And what do you do? I talk about cause and effect, and we'll
Yes.
share a little bit about that. I like to talk about perception as projection.
100%.
We definitely talk about the prime directives of the unconscious mind and the presuppositions of neuro-linguistic programming. So you've been doing a lot of coaching in the evening.
Yeah.
And you're excellent at this, which is proof that a brand new practitioner to NLP can actually earn a very handsome living immediately out of the gate. When did you start when did you actually get your first coach? That's what I'd like to talk about, your first coaching.
My first client?
Your first client.
I got my first client that Saturday after graduation. I posted online that I had graduated from the training with the Tad James Company, and all I put was that I was really excited. I was happy for myself. I committed to something and I did it. And I had people messaging me, oh, I've been looking for a hypnotherapist. I've heard about this programming your brain. What's that about? And people just started asking me questions. It was easy and effortless. And the reason for that is I pre-framed that I was already a coach prior to graduating. I woke up every morning and I'm like, I'm a coach. I'm a life coach. That's my purpose. That's what I'm doing. And when I was able to get that neurology aligned and I was congruent with that, going into the training was easy because I already had the mindset that I was a coach, that I am a coach. And so when I got my certifications, it was proof that I did it. The proof was in the pudding.
So there's a little secret there. If you listen, if you stop and you look and you listen
Yes.
to the words, she absolutely knows what she wants. And she knew that she didn't have it at one point in time. So when you know what you want, after you stop and you look and you listen, if you know what you want and you don't have it, how is that? Okay, how can you create your future if you know what you want and you don't have it? She knew what she wanted, and she said, I am a coach, before it happened. That's a little bit of a secret. You see, a lot of goals are, I will, which is an act of,
Maybe someday.
maybe someday. I'm trying, which actually means I'm actively not doing it.
Yeah. Like
So,
I said, Yoda says it best, do or do not. There is no try. And that's a motto I live by.
Right.
Thanks, Yoda.
And the first two things, Jack came here to the Power Hour.
Yes, I did, little baby.
When we were doing it not via camera, live, which I'm really glad for all the changes. Because we can reach a lot more people this way than people trying to come to Terra Resort.
Yeah.
However, you're welcome to come to Terra Resort every Tuesday, 7 to 8, Power Hour. We love it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And Terra Resort is just wonderful energy. So a couple of things that happened with Jack. She came to the Power Hour, no different than you all attending tonight. Thank you very much. And what I did is I talked a little bit about cause and effect, and perception is projection. And the thing that I saw about Jack is she was like a sponge. She wanted change with everything that she was. However, it was kind of like like she couldn't see past right here. Okay, she wanted it, she could feel it, and I could you see it?
It was almost like a fuzzy dream. It was like I had a feeling that maybe it was attainable. However, I couldn't see past the now. I couldn't see past all of the crap I was in. And then finally, when I was able to move out of that and finally see the big picture, it was like, wow, this is it's easy. It's easy when you have that, when you take action. And when I finally took action in myself, things fell into place easily and effortlessly because I was open to receive. One of the most amazing teachings I received from Maria during that time was people are so often ready to have their fists closed. Their palms are closed and they're not ready to receive. They're like, I don't want this, I don't want somebody to hurt me. If I'm too kind, then people take advantage. And my hands were closed. They were balled in fists and they were ready to fight. And then Maria looked at me and said, well, if your hands aren't open to receive the good, how are you ever going to get the good? Because your hands are closed all the time to every single thing.
Kind of like the Hoover Dam. Because we don't know any differently, okay? We dam the flow of energy.
Yes.
By being closed. And when you open up to change, you're open to receive all kinds of good energy. So cause and effect is my ground rule. Even if it's not real, what does cause and effect mean? I've explained it lots of times, and I've tried to explain it to the best of my ability, that we focus on results.
Yes.
Excuses don't work in coaching. We care about you as a person. What we don't care about is your excuses for not getting your results and your outcome. So immediately we put people at cause as opposed to the effect. And Dr. Tad James says it so eloquently. The generations of the Bart Simpson fans, yeah, I didn't do it. Nobody saw me do it. You can't prove it. Let me sue the SOB. Okay, and via television, for how many generations have people been watching programs like that? The key word here, the secret word here, programs like the Bart Simpsons, the King of the Hills. I'm not a television person myself. I will watch television, however it's usually educational or because I think it applies to NLP and some of my interests. I do enjoy going to the movies, but I don't watch these television series. For me, it's time consuming. However, I would like to, because during the generations, we are programmed by what we see on TV, and we've lost our critical thinking.
Yes.
And so I would love it if Coach Jack would explain cause and effect, because she's such an eloquent speaker and so intelligent. And there comes a point in time where the teacher has to give credit because we become students of our students. And I love the way that she explains cause and effect.
All right, so
what side of the equation will you want to be once she explains this?
So yes, cause and effect. People who are at effect will consistently push the blame on everyone else. If you ask them, well, why are you in this situation? Well, so-and-so did this to me, or, oh, I lost my job because of this. And it can be silly things. Oh, well, I lost my job because it was raining today. It's being able to just push the blame on anyone because you don't want to take responsibility for your actions. And when you're at effect, you're consistently going to be at the mercy of everyone else because you are not in control of your life. When you are at cause, you are taking that action for your results. When you take action and responsibility for yourself, that's true empowerment. Because now, anything that happens, that next step that you take, you're making that and you are 100% congruent with that. Whether you may have the results you want or maybe they're not the best results, you know 100% that, hey, I made this choice and I'm going to go through it and we're We're gonna see how it goes. When I finally learned that being at cause and being in control of my own life gave me that empowerment, that was the game changer for me.
Big game changer.
Yes, I went through years of psychotherapy.
Effect.
Yes, I went through years of, oh, well, you know, things are never going to get better, so here's a pill for your pill. And I kept being told that you're probably going to need therapy for the rest of your life.
Talk about suggestion and programming.
Yeah, you're probably going to need to see doctors for the rest of your life, this specialist and that specialist. And consistently, I was just being told that I had zero control. And then finally, I was able to experience NLP and truly understand that, wait a minute, when I take that control over my life, that was when empowerment came back into my life.
Absolutely, 100%.
And that was truly the light bulb blinking on. That was like my aha moment.
And the key is, you know, really embodying what side of the equation do you want to be on. C is greater than E. Cause is greater than the effect. Mm-hmm. Results versus excuses. Even if it's not real, when we push what happens outside of us, here's the big secret. There's no learnings. If we do something great and we wear it like a badge of honor, oh, I did something so great, and you've got that badge of honor, okay, then great. However, if you've done something and it's not so great, now, it's somebody else's fault. Okay, well, that's excuses. There's no learnings. How do you grow? Therefore, if we don't, in neuro-linguistic programming, if our clients don't adopt the solid theory that cause, C, is greater than E, greater than being an effect, then you have learnings. And when you have learnings, you don't keep spinning your wheels, doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and you expect a different result. So C is greater than E. And I've adopted that, and it's been the game changer in my life, quite frankly. And 100% effective in all the clients. And I've got a lot of clients, okay? Anything else you want to say about cause and effect? And then maybe we can say hi to a couple of people, and then we'll go on to perception as projection.
Yes, I do have one more thing. So cause and effect works great in relationships. Imagine you're always being told, oh, well, it's 50-50. I have to find my better half. I am like, what?
Question.
Yes.
Is it half this side, half that side, or is it half this way?
It's a great question, because if it's half this side, do I get half the cause or do I get half the effect? Because I know that I just want a partner that's at cause. And it's the same concept when it comes to coaching with a client, working with a client. If you are at 50% and you're, oh, well, I'm going to give my half and you're going to give your half, I don't want two halves. I want two wholes. I want 100% and 100%, because then you're going to have that whole body, mind, and spirit. And we were able to have that. You work the most effectively as a whole integrated unit.
That's right.
And I would much rather be whole
100%
than missing a body part or missing part of my brain or not being able to feel happy, maybe not being able to feel sad, because all emotions and everything that you go through has a purpose. And so 100%, that's what I want.
Could I add a little something to that? What Jack is saying is so real and so true. A lot of times people will say things like, my better half. Oh, this is my better half. Mm-hmm. Well, what does that do to the self? Mm-hmm. We do have a responsibility, and I talk about it all the time at these power hours. I talk about it every day, that consciously we have a responsibility to be spiritual parents to our unconscious minds. And the unconscious mind does not do any type of reasoning or analyzing. It is information in and it delivers. It is the go-getter. And whatever we tell our unconscious mind, it is obedient and it will serve.
Yes.
And how many times do we say the better half? It's actually kind of disrespectful to ourselves. And so our unconscious mind gets confused, and that's where relationships run into trouble. So if we are whole 100%, and we respect ourselves 100%, and we have self-care 100%, then we will, and we become number one, what will we attract?
Yes, absolutely. Another important thing about parts, so often there is this dichotomy in ourselves. We have to be this or that. And it creates this friction in yourself because you're like, well, I have to be this way in one group. I have to be this way in another group. I have to be this way with myself. And you're constantly split between all of these different parts. And like I mentioned before, the unconscious mind, the body works best as a whole integrated unit. So you're going to find people with bipolar disorder. They're going to be diagnosed with bipolar disorder, borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia. They're going to be diagnosed with all these things because there's all these different parts that have one common goal, which is to get you whole again. And when you are able to see, hey, wait a minute, all these parts are working together to make the best version of me, you're going to find the peace and the happiness and the joy that you should feel every day of your life. And that's what's so important about what we're talking about today. Timeline therapy will get you to that outcome where you'll be able to live your life easily and effortlessly, having that abundance and prosperity, specifically because now you understand that each part of you, when together, makes the best version of you.
And imagine living that life, practicing self-care, number one, so that you can attract a number one.
Yes.
Imagine doing it with zero anger in you. Imagine living your life without sadness. Imagine living your life without fear. Imagine living your life without guilt, shame. What if you really believe that you could do anything that you put your mind to? We call it limiting decisions. Somewhere in our past we decided that we have limitations. And because of that one decision, a bunch of little beliefs are born out of that limit our belief in ourselves. So with cause and effect, if you know, okay, that you are completely in control of your results and you practice self-care, number one, you will be number one and you will attract a number one. So good enough about cause and effect. Should we say hi to a couple of people?
Hello to Mary and Juliana. Hello.
Oh, sister! Congratulations. I would like to give a round of applause to Juliana, who just graduated. She is a full-fledged practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy. She is a practitioner of hypnotherapy, and she is a coach, a certified coach approved by the American boards. Juliana, my sister, I am so proud of you and I love you, and yes, you have family. So welcome. Welcome to the NLP family, I guess.
Tad James family.
The coaching family, okay? Because we're all on a mission, and our mission is to transform the planet, and I believe it will be the coaches and the clients who change that will be the heroes of saving the human race. That's another story.
We just want to create a world that works for everyone.
That's right. Okay, so should we talk a little bit about perception as projection, you think? Okay.
Whatever you...
We're just kind of about what we do to start creating the secret of creating your future. Okay, so perception is projection. For about 4 years, I questioned this. Now I have zero question about it. Okay, I believe 100% in Perception is projection. Just by listening to people, I've coached enough people that I believe I buy it lock, stock, and barrel. Before it was like a hard pill to swallow, metaphorically speaking, because I could not understand that we marry our mirror. We marry our mirror. Okay, and it's so unconscious that we're not even consciously aware of it. So, would you like to give your version of perception as projection? Doesn't have to be NLP formal, just so that the public can understand how simple this concept is.
Okay. Thinking of a good example that will be easy to understand, because yes, perception is projection. This is probably one of the biggest things that people are like, that's not for me. When I first heard perception is projection, I was like, I'm a little bit iffy on that. Essentially, perception is projection. When you are, maybe you're talking with someone and they just start irritating you and you have no idea why. And you're just listening to them and you're just like, what the heck? Like, oh my gosh, get away from me. I can't stand this. Who do they think they are? And you're saying all these things about them. However, in perception is projection, the things that you see in them that you're not liking are the same things in yourself.
That you don't like?
Yeah, about yourself. So, like, let's see.
And also,
Yeah.
if you can hold on to your train of thought.
Yeah, I'm finding my train.
Also, not only is it so much like you, it is you, it's exactly like you. Otherwise, how would you know it? By the same token, when you see excellence in someone, that's also in you. Perception is projection.
Mm-hmm.
So it works both ways. And I believe that it's tied into cause and effect.
Yes, absolutely. So an example of perception is projection. So say, for example, in America, we see the color blue and people will think blue is kind of a sad color. It's very melancholy. So maybe you see somebody who's wearing blue and blue to you means they're sad. So you're like, well, why are you wearing that color? Why are you sad? However, to that person wearing blue, blue means royalty. It signifies something powerful and strength. And they're like, wait a minute.
Like this blue jar.
blue to me means powerful. And so now you're trying to put that perception of what the color blue means to that person, but in reality, they're two separate things. So now you have to really think, okay, well, when I'm saying something, how is that person perceiving it? And what specifically happened that I perceived it that way? So just a little...
So, like, what we don't like about people is exactly what we don't like about ourselves. And I could probably go into another, because we have like hundreds a week that we deal with, like literally.
Yeah.
and we spot it right away. And I'm like, wow, I'm so grateful for these learnings. Here's a good example. Okay. Oh, he's nothing but a big fat liar. Well, they're just talking about themselves. Okay. Well, he's not a good worker because I think he has bad work habits. Okay.
I want to say, who specifically says? That's not what we're teaching.
Yeah, right away we want to go into meta model. Thank you, Virginia Satir and Bandler and Grinder for putting that all together to get very specific. Talk about pulling somebody out of effect.
Real fast.
And what they're projecting out is all coming from within. Okay, so yeah, perception is projection, cause and effect, okay? And also, what you need to know so that we can get to how you create your future is we need to talk a little bit about Gestalt therapy. And here's what it is. With the secret to creating your future is what we do all day long, every day. And successful futures.
Yes.
Literally, we can customize it and design it. You think a designer purse is nice? Woo! Once you have a designer lifestyle.
I want that one. That one's priceless.
That's right, right. And the funny thing is that learning NLP for personal development and getting certified in it is less expensive than a high-end custom purse.
It's true.
True. Okay. You do this, you could own the whole factory of purses. The secret of creating your future, what we have to do is we have to talk about how time is stored within your body. And you've learned it before, so this is a recap for some of you, and this is just a quick overview for those of you. We will be teaching it again, okay? Everybody's a timeline. Our unconscious mind stores memory, and it stores it limitless, okay? And so all your memories there. And in those memories are attached some negative emotions. And we do timeline therapy to literally pull those out by the roots.
Pull it out.
Pull it out. And once we pull them out after there's some learnings, okay, now we've got a nice clear field where we can plant the seeds of success. And they just grow easily and effortlessly. Once we talk about timeline therapy, we use what's called Gestalt, the theory of Gestalt. And Coach Jack will explain Gestalt and a little bit about Gestalt therapy.
Yes.
It's the what it is.
Yeah. So Gestalt therapy, it is a psychotherapeutic approach developed by Fritz Perls. It focuses on insight into gestalts and patients and their relations to the world, and often uses role-playing to aid the resolution of past conflicts. Gestalt is essentially an organized whole that is perceived as more than just the sum of its parts, kind of what we were talking about a little bit earlier. The biggest theory in Gestalt is that people are not made up of separate components like mind, body, soul. Rather, humans function as better as a whole integrated unit. And in doing so, one defines who one is and has that sense of self by choice of responses to their environment, which is the boundaries that you may create. And what's so beautiful about Gestalt is understanding that one thing may have happened and it may be completely out of your awareness. However, when you go back to that root cause of what happened, all of those little things that seem to just build up just fall away. And that's really the theory of timeline therapy. In timeline therapy, we talk about getting rid of the negative emotion at the root cause. And how we do that is being able to get the learning from that anger, that sadness, that fear, that hurt, and that guilt. For example, have you ever listened to a song and maybe you just know the chorus and it's stuck in your head all day and you're just singing that same chorus all day. And then finally you learn all the lyrics to the song and it's just out of your awareness. It's gone. It's like it wasn't even there. It's the same concept with timeline therapy. When you're able to get the learning, your brain's like, okay, we got the learning, I'm good. And now it's out of your awareness. It's not that you forgot the memory. It's like now there's zero emotion attached to it.
And the beauty of the way Gestalt works, Fritz Perls, his work is phenomenal. I'm going to use a little bit of a metaphor here. I like to describe it to people that aren't highly trained in neurolinguistic programming or other fields of human behavior and change. I like to refer to Gestalt and the root cause of any major negative emotion. Think of it as like a big tree, like it's a dead tree. Like, let's talk about anger. Boom, there's anger. The very first time you have anger. Well, that tree has roots, and they grow. You could chop the tree down. Those roots are going to grow, and other things are going to pop up, and you still got that dead tree or the anger. So I like to refer to Gestalt as like a pearl necklace. And if you were to open up a pearl necklace, and all the pearls are the same size, okay, well, it just keeps looping around and around and around because we keep making the same mistake over and over and over. But if we can go into the past, and your unconscious mind stores time, limitless time, consciously you won't know. Your unconscious mind, however, knows if you trust your unconscious mind
That's right.
and be aware consciously, you can go to the past. However far back you must go to your past, to the root cause of any major negative emotion. You get to the root cause and you have that learning, okay? We actually take you before the root cause because there might have been some little events, some little significant emotional events leading up to that. Well, we got to go beyond that too, because it's part of that chain, that pearl necklace of the Gestalt. It's just leading up to it. So we got to go back behind that, okay? And then when we're clear of it, before any of the chain of events happened that created that major negative emotion, okay? Once we go there, and now we look down at our learnings, okay? We're good to go. And then what we do is we just drop you right down into the event. There should be no emotional charge whatsoever.
Zero emotional charge.
Zero. And then you float up above your timeline. Now here's the cool part. We take you way before any of the chain of events that led up to that significant emotional event. It's called a SEE, S-E-E. In many cases, it's not just an event. It's a significant emotional experience. So we have to get in front of, if you will, to the past. We have to get behind all of that. And if we got behind all of that before it happened, it's like it never happened. And this is one of the reasons why Dr. Tad James is so genius in what he has done in timeline therapy and the basis of personality. Literally, one will have a complete personality change, the way we were meant to be, without all those major negative emotions.
That's right.
So this is a great book, Timeline Therapy and the Basis of Personality by Dr. Tad James, okay? And then Adriana,
Yes, Dr. Adriana
Dr.
James.
Adriana James, okay, renowned trainers, the best in the world. And she wrote a book, Timeline Therapy Made Easy, okay, to let go of negative emotions and limiting decisions from your life.
Bam.
Boom. Okay, love these people. This line of work actually saved my life in many ways, and I'm not saying that metaphorically. When it comes to health and consciousness and my growth has been phenomenal. Your growth, I thought I grew fast. Wow, you're like dynamite. So we have to do timeline therapy, and it's kind of like cleaning out the pasture, cleaning out the field.
Picking out the weeds.
Yeah, because if we start planting seeds of success and then we go to harvest and there's a big old tree in the way, you're not going to have a good harvest. So we get all the major negative emotions out. And this is one reason why many people have huge success, and then just as huge as their success is, it collapses. Like boom, everything gone, from relationships to money, jobs, careers. It's like, wow, how did I self-sabotage myself? Honestly, it's major negative emotions. I refer to them as sinkholes. And if you try to build an empire, pour a foundation on all these sinkholes, meaning the major negative emotions, anger, sadness, fear, guilt, shame, hurt, limiting decisions. There's more. But those are the major ones. We like to refer to the big five. So when you pull those out, you've cleaned up the field. If you don't pull them out, they're like sinkholes. And when you pour your foundation to build your empire, it collapses. So what we do is we get the sinkholes out of the way, so it doesn't feel like you're in quicksand, and every time you try to move, you sink more, and you sink more, and you sink more, until you just can't even move, because every time you move, it's like you're going backward or in reverse, or you're sinking more and more and more and more and more. Wow. Timeline therapy. To release the big five, we can do it in around an hour to do a really good job for most people, and it works. So that's the first thing that we have to do. We have to do timeline therapy so that we can create your future. So you got a clean slate. Now let's build that empire. Solid foundation.
That's right.
Okay, anything to add to that?
Another example of timeline therapy for those that maybe it's still a little bit confusing. There was a really great children's movie that came out a few years ago called Inside Out. Inside Out, really the basis of, there was a young girl and all of her emotions, the anger, the sadness, the joy, they were all up there in her brain, and they kept touching these balls, these memories. And every time they held a memory, she would feel that emotion. She'd feel the happiness, she'd feel the anger or the sadness or the fear. And every time one of those memories dropped and broke, it erased completely. And so once all those happy memories started to break and shatter, all she could feel was that anger, sadness, and fear. And that's a great way of thinking about timeline therapy. When you have all these stacked negative emotions, now you're going to consistently have this unwarranted behavior, this unwarranted response.
Inappropriate.
Yes.
Totally inappropriate.
Unresourceful. And this is where you hear the term, oh, well, they need to go to anger management. They just can't control their anger. And really what that was is you had all these stacked negative emotions, and there was no room to remember or really be able to enjoy the happiness and the love and all of the great things. And with timeline therapy, what we do is now we go into those negative emotions and we help guide you to find your learning, because all answers for us are in us. So all we do is help guide you to get that learning, the things that you deserved. You were deserving of love, of being protected, how you got safety, that trust.
All the things that we didn't get as children we're deserving of.
Absolutely.
And which leads me to something that you said just a moment ago that I thought was important. Could you repeat what you just said? Because it was kind of important. Okay, it'll come to me in a minute. Yes, it came to me. Okay.
In a second.
Right. That's because the conscious mind can only remember 7 things plus or minus 2.
Yeah, she also did auditory recall.
So what I did, yes, I did do an auditory recall. You're really good. I love it. I love you. Okay. I love you.
I love you too.
Okay. We as human beings have about 90,000 thoughts per day. 90.
It's a lot.
1,000. That's a lot. How many of those thoughts do you think about what you don't want versus what you want? I guarantee you, most of it is what we don't want. And then with what's going on in the world with those 90,000 thoughts every day, you watch television and all that programming of when you've never released fear at the root cause, so it's compounded, like what she said, stacked up. And when they are programming you with all this fear, every which way fear, okay, you're stifled, you're in fear, you're frozen, you're frightened. Where do I run? Oh, you can't run anywhere, can't leave your house. What happens? Okay, it will manifest itself in a dis-ease. And when you get that dis-ease, your unconscious mind will, on purpose, create a symptomology within your physiology that you don't like. So we get things that we don't want. And you're free from this. I don't want those things. With that 90,000 thoughts, what do I want? You see how easy it is to focus on what you don't want? I don't want those thoughts. I want only good, wholesome, healthy thoughts. So with those, be aware. I challenge you. For every piece of information that comes in through your neurology, through your senses, your 6 senses, focus on what you want versus not what you don't want. And the magic will happen. That is another secret, of creating your future.
Yes.
So all these little secrets creates the big secret. Would you like to add to anything on that?
Yeah, well, Victoria's Secret. I'm just kidding. Yes, so definitely focusing on.
My middle name is Victoria, but
yeah, I know it. You have 2 middle names. That's how cool
right.
you are.
That's right.
So focusing on what you want is so important, because even though you say, well, I don't want to get sick, I don't want to lose my job,
I don't want to get the virus. Okay. Every time you say you don't want something, you are a 10 to the 10 to the 11th power magnet of what
you said you didn't want.
Didn't want. Why is that? How's that?
The unconscious mind does not process negatives. So what that means is everything that you say, the unconscious mind will always take in the positive. So if I say I do not want the virus, the unconscious mind hears I do want the virus. If I say I do not want to be sick, the unconscious mind hears I do want to be sick. And the unconscious mind is a willing servant and aims to please. Because the conscious mind, your thinking mind, is the spiritual parent.
It's creating. This one, the unconscious mind, it's just serving.
Yes.
Boom, 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 that fast. Okay. With 11 million bits of information coming in per second, we have some deletions, some distortions, some generalizations, and the unconscious mind is just going to serve. Now, compounded with us focusing on what we don't want, okay, compound that with programming through social media, advertising, songs, video games,
friends,
music.
work.
We are being bombarded
24/7.
with information.
Even when we're sleeping, our unconscious mind is still absorbing everything that we hear.
I don't sleep with the television on. If I sleep and there has to be some kind of sound, I promise you, it has to do with NLP. So when we say we study this 24/7,
it's true.
I really mean that.
I mean, Maria a little bit more. She's sometimes a little bit neurotic.
That's right. That's right. My unconscious mind knows. You see, Jack here, okay, if I could have learned neurolinguistic programming at age 24 and then turn 25 and already be a coach, she'll be a master very, very soon, I would have had a much different life. I have a great life. I had to rely on just mental toughness and the natural, just trusting my unconscious mind, the intuitiveness. So I'm grateful that my upbringing taught me mental toughness. However, mind over matter doesn't work all the time. When you can take those things out that stop your success flows easily and effortlessly. And that's the beauty of the secret of creating your future. We clean it all up with timeline therapy.
Yes. So we actually did get a comment regarding perception as projection.
Oh, I love Mary. That's got to be Mary,
Yeah,
right?
that is Mary. You're right.
I do it, Mary, sister. Okay.
Yeah. So
highly trained in NLP, by the way.
Yes. She had put, sharing as this helps to clear up perception is projection for me. The only way we experience the outside world is through our perceptions. We can use NLP techniques to learn how we can change our projections if they are not resourceful for us. So everything that we perceive outside of us is a projection of what we perceive inside of us.
So true, Mary.
Yes.
And
to me, this is more about how we perceive or make sense of the world versus seeing ourselves in everything. Our belief systems of the world are projected by our perception of behaviors and events.
okay, brilliant, Mary.
Yes.
Brilliant.
You got a round of applause.
Yes. Because when we were teaching the practitioner training here at Terra Resort, which Mary graduated from, okay, she was like me. We were on the same page. We were like, how could I? No, I don't like that person. That has nothing to do with me. And so she took it upon herself to really understand it. And when she explained it to me, I embodied it. However, that's a lot. So I just knew that whatever's going on outside, you're absolutely right, Mary. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, and there's always an and. So definitely you have the perception of how you perceive the world and how you may perceive yourself. So there's always an and, because it's quantum. In NLP, we talk quantum levels of you can have this and this and this and this instead of this or that.
Right. There's no glass ceilings here.
No, not in a box.
It's limitless. When we're good spiritual parents consciously to our unconscious mind, that's a start.
Yes.
And then we can tap into the higher consciousness, and that's pretty magical. That's future trainings. Okay, so we talked a little bit about how we have to clean all the major negative emotions up, cleaning up the junk, if you will, the stuff. Some of the stuff, we were just told that's the way it is, and we adopted it as a belief, which limits us. And when we decided that that was the truth, that's where the problem started. Not because somebody did it on purpose, because it's been going on maybe for generations. What if it was other lifetimes?
Yes.
We respect everybody's model of the world, so what if that was a possibility?
Yeah.
So we clean it all up, and now we're ready to talk about how we create our futures. Did we talk enough about what we do to be able to get there?
Yeah.
Are we ready for the how?
Yeah. The how.
Okay.
4 minutes.
All right. How many minutes do we have left?
4.
4 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
So you can wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up. Would you like to talk about
The how?
how we do it? Yeah, I could do it really quickly here. Okay, now, know this, we have to discover the root cause first. We have to do the negative emotions. We have to make sure that all the learnings and that there are no more negative emotions. We release the big 5, anger, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, conflict. That's what we do, okay? We have to reframe how people think, okay? And then we get rid of all limiting decisions. We get rid of phobias. Okay, there's a lot that we do. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about SMART goals. Okay, so this is how we create your future. Da, 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 da. Okay, it is right here.
Is it?
Maybe not. Okay, that's okay. Here's the beauty of it. I pretty much know everything from the top of my head.
Yeah. SMART
Okay,
goals.
SMART
Specific.
goals. SMART, SMART goals. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Just know
specific.
specific, measurable,
Okay.
attainable.
All right. So a SMART goal has to be specific, it has to be simple, measurable, it has to be meaningful to you, not to somebody else, to you specifically. And you have to act as if you have it now. Like what she said, I am a coach before she was a coach. So you have to act as if it's now. Okay, and then you have to make sure that it's achievable. If you're making $20 an hour and you say you want to be a millionaire by next month, I don't want to be one to have any doubt. I don't have any doubt. However, that might not be quite achievable. However, I'm a dream maker.
Yes.
So, you know, as a coach, I have to make sure that it's realistic and the client has to be sure that it's achievable. And it has to appeal to all areas of your life. Okay? So, SMART, and then it has to be responsible, it has to be ecological, it has to be realistic. And what do we mean by ecological? That it has to be ecological.
It has to be a win for your system. So a win for you, whether you have a family, win for your family, and ultimately a win for the world.
Right. Basically 3 wins. Win for self, win for whatever other person it is, and it has to be win for the system to keep the system free of contamination. By the way, that's called the law of requisite variety. The person or system with the most flexibility in behavior will control the system. So flexibility is the key. We have to be flexible, okay? And then it has to be timed, and it has to be toward what we want.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually do this in different steps, okay? We make sure that the goal is stated in the SMART, okay? We have to figure out what's the last thing that has to happen, what's the last step that has to happen before we know, so that we know that we have our goal. So what is that? I don't have time to explain what internal representations are, but we make that picture of what our goal is so intense and so real,
Yes.
like we have it, like we
Feel
are
it right
living
now.
it. We got it right now, okay? And then we embody it. We see it, we hear it, we feel it, we float down right into it, and we actually embody it, okay? And then what we do is we adjust it to make it the most real that it can be, and then what do? We step out of it, we dissociate.
Yes.
And then we give it life with some hakalau breaths, some breathing, nice big 4 deep breaths, okay? And then we float out into our future, and we allow it to float right down to that specific time. Now the unconscious mind, okay, says, okay, this is what I am. So we have to leave it there. And we can't be associated, because the unconscious mind will think that you've already achieved the goal, and that's not the goal, because you haven't achieved it. So then we float up above our timeline, and as we turn toward the now, because we're in the future, and then we're going to turn and we're going to go toward the now, literally everything aligns itself. And it's kind of like, for me, my experience was like files were like everywhere, like manila file folders, and they were blue and they were different colors. And it's as if, as I'm coming back to the now, because it's there, okay, I've seen it, so it's kind of like a memory. And as I'm coming back to the now, all the files start organizing themselves. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so everything will align itself. And we come back to the now, and all the events have happened, and I see them as I'm coming to the now, and then all I got to do is just take action and move toward what I want. And that's how you create your future.
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
No, I just feel it real.
Feel it real.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm so quick at this that I can think of a SMART goal now and literally have it within an hour or 2 hours. That's how quick this is when you master this. However, we do timeline therapy all day long, most evenings. So every time we help a client, we also go through a healing. That's the beauty of coaching. And I highly recommend that anybody become a coach. And the school that we graduated from,
The Tad James
Company, really, it is the Ivy League school, 100%. And for those of you that know me personally, you have seen the changes in me. I had a pretty good life before this. Now I can truly say that I am living to the best of my ability in a state of excellence. And if you were to define NLP, what is NLP? The study of excellence.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much
Okay.
for tuning in. And thank you all for your comments and your likes, and
See you next Tuesday.
yes, see you next Tuesday. And
Okay, thank you for joining
love you.
us. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you.